Welcome back to Echoes from the Motherland. Today's story is called The Cursed City Beneath Cairo. Cairo, 2024. The city was alive with the hum of progress. Between the sprawling tech hubs and the preparations for COP29, the global climate conference, the city brimmed with ambition. Yet, amid the skyscrapers and bustling streets, a chilling tale began to resurface. Deep beneath Cairo's surface, a construction crew stumbled upon something that had been buried for centuries, an ancient labyrinth leading to a forgotten underground city. At first, it seemed like a routine discovery. Archaeologists and government officials rushed to the site, eager to unveil a new historical treasure. But soon, murmurs of unease spread through the workers. Tools failed inexplicably. Lights flickered, casting long, unnatural shadows. Some claimed to hear faint whispers in the ancient Coptic tongue, though no one dared to admit it aloud. Elders in the community gave it a name they hadn't spoken in decades, Al-Madina al-Maluna, the cursed city. Long ago, the tale went, the city thrived under Pharaoh's rule. But a great drought swept across the land, and its people turned to Aminet, a powerful but ostracized sorcerer. She used her knowledge of the gods and the elements to call forth the rains, saving the city from certain doom. Yet, as the crops flourished and life returned to normal, jealousy and fear took root. The city's leaders betrayed Aminet, accusing her of witchcraft. They condemned her to death, believing her knowledge was too dangerous to be left unchecked. But as the executioner's blade fell, Aminet uttered her final curse. You who have thrived by my knowledge shall now wither by your greed. Your hearts shall harden like stone, your joy turn to endless misery. This city shall sink into darkness until the light of righteousness restores its soul. The ground quaked that night, swallowing the city whole. Survivors who fled told stories of shadowy figures wandering the ruins, their screams echoing through the sands. Over time, the city faded into myth, until now. Archaeologists descended into the labyrinth, eager to document what they believed to be a historic find. The walls were covered with intricate carvings depicting scenes of anguish, skeletal figures clawing at the heavens, shadowy creatures with hollow eyes. The air grew colder the deeper they ventured, their voices echoing unnaturally in the tunnels. Then came the disappearances. 2 members of the team vanished without a trace. Their radios emitted only static, punctuated by faint, haunting whispers. The authorities sealed off the site, declaring it unsafe. But the whispers couldn't be silenced. They seeped into Cairo's streets, carried on the lips of the fearful. Amira Ibrahim, a young tech journalist, was no stranger to taking risks. Known for her fearless exposés, she couldn't resist the mystery. Armed with her camera, she slipped past the barricades one moonless night and descended into the labyrinth alone. The air was thick with an oppressive silence. As she ventured deeper, her flashlight revealed more carvings, each more disturbing than the last. Finally, she stumbled into a vast hall filled with motionless figures cloaked in shadows. When her light fell upon them, she gasped. They were not statues but petrified humans. Their faces were frozen in eternal terror, their hands outstretched as if begging for mercy. At the center of the hall stood a weathered altar, inscribed with ancient hieroglyphs. Amira's phone translated the text, "When the heart of the city remembers the light, the curse shall be broken." She froze. Could the heart refer to the people of Cairo themselves? Was this a curse on the city above as much as the one below? Amira returned to the surface, shaken but resolute. Her story, published the next morning, ignited a firestorm. She wrote, "The curse beneath our city mirrors the one above: greed, division, and neglect of our moral compass. If we wish to save ourselves, we must confront these demons, not just for the cursed city but for Cairo's future." Her exposé struck a nerve. Religious leaders called for collective reflection. Father Youssef, a revered Coptic priest, declared, "The curse is a parable. It warns us of the darkness we create when we forget God's teachings. Faith without action is hollow. Mosques echoed the message, urging unity and charity. Movements sprang up almost overnight. Citizens organized cleanup drives, donated to the poor, and demanded reforms from corrupt officials. NGOs collaborated with local leaders to address inequality. For the first time in years, Cairo felt like a community united in purpose. Months passed, and the city began to change. On a cool December night, a strange phenomenon occurred. The ground at the entrance to the labyrinth trembled, collapsing inward until no trace of the tunnels remained. Witnesses reported hearing a low, sorrowful wail followed by a profound silence. The news spread quickly. Many believed the curse had lifted. Some dismissed it as superstition, but those who had seen the changes in their city knew better. Amira wrote her final article on the subject, ending with these words. The cursed city was never just beneath Cairo. It lived in our hearts, in the shadows of our greed, in the cracks of our neglect. Together, we have begun to heal. Let us never forget that unity, humility, and faith are the lights that guide us from darkness. True salvation comes from collective action and moral integrity. When a community remembers its shared purpose and responsibilities, even the darkest curses can be broken.